Have you ever added a spoonful of turmeric to your tea hoping it would ease your joint pain? Or stirred it into your oatmeal because you heard it helps memory and digestion? If you're over 60, chances are you've come across turmeric as a natural remedy. Maybe from a friend, a doctor, or something you saw online. And for good reason. Turmeric is powerful. Backed by science, its active compound curcumin has been linked to lower inflammation, better heart health, and even improved brain function in older adults. But here's something few people talk about. Even the most expensive turmeric powder or supplement may do almost nothing if you pair it with the wrong foods. In fact, some common everyday foods may cancel out its benefits, or worse, cause digestive issues, heartburn, or even spike your inflammation. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness, because when you know what blocks turmeric from working and what supercharges it, you take back control of your body. So today, we're going to uncover the 3 foods you should never mix with turmeric and why. Then I'll show you 3 powerful ingredients that can unlock its full healing potential. Stick with me until the end, because I'll also walk you through a simple 3-day plan to start using turmeric the right way, starting with your next meal. Because after 60, every choice we make for our body matters more than ever. Walk into almost any health aisle in America today, and you'll see it. Bright yellow, turmeric capsules stacked neatly beside multivitamins. Turmeric teas lined up near herbal blends. Golden powders, proudly labeled anti-inflammatory. But turmeric's popularity didn't appear overnight. It quietly rose to the spotlight as more and more Americans over 60 began searching for natural ways to ease chronic pain, protect memory, and stay mobile. Let's face it, aging brings changes. Not all of them are welcome. Stiff joints that once moved freely, a brain that occasionally forgets names or misplaces keys. Digestive systems that don't quite run like clockwork anymore. That's where turmeric caught attention. It wasn't a trend, it was a response to a growing need among older adults who wanted support, without relying solely on prescription drugs or synthetic treatments. Studies began confirming what ancient traditions in India and Southeast Asia had practiced for centuries. Turmeric, and specifically its active compound curcumin, showed real promise in reducing inflammation, supporting heart health, and shielding brain cells from age-related decline. But beyond the science, it's the personal stories that made turmeric feel real. Take Helen, a 72-year-old from Arizona. She started adding turmeric to her evening tea after reading about its benefits. At first, she didn't notice much, but 3 months later, she could walk her dog farther, sleep more comfortably, and said her knees didn't scream every time it rained. For seniors like Helen, turmeric offered something deeply valuable. Hope. Not for a miracle cure, but for a steady, natural helper in the aging process. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Many seniors started using turmeric without understanding how it actually works in the body. They added it to anything and everything, soups, smoothies, even sugary breakfast bowls, not realizing that certain food pairings could block turmeric's healing power altogether. And that brings us to something most people completely overlook. Turmeric may be sitting in your kitchen right now. But here's a question that deserves your full attention. Is your body actually absorbing it? Or are you unknowingly wasting it day after day? See, one of the biggest traps people fall into with turmeric is this. They focus on taking it, but not on how their body uses it. Let's talk about the science for a moment. The active ingredient in turmeric is curcumin, and it's what delivers most of the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. But here's the kicker. Curcumin is notoriously hard for the body to absorb. In fact, studies have shown that without the right conditions, your body might absorb less than 1% of the curcumin you consume. Yes, less than 1%. That means even if you sprinkle turmeric into your meals every single day, you might still be missing out on nearly all of its benefits, simply because of how you're combining it with food. Let me share a real story. James, 68, from Michigan, was faithfully taking turmeric every morning in his breakfast smoothie. He mixed it with frozen fruits, yogurt, and a bit of honey, but 3 months later his joint pain hadn't improved at all. He was frustrated. He thought turmeric just didn't work for him. But when he spoke with a nutritionist, she pointed out that he was blending it with processed yogurt and high-sugar fruits. 2 common absorption blockers. The turmeric wasn't the problem, the pairing was. And this is where the lesson comes in. What you take turmeric with is just as important as taking it at all. Curcumin needs help to cross into your bloodstream. The wrong combinations can block it. The right ones can boost it dramatically. Sadly, this mistake is more common among seniors than you'd think, because many aren't told that absorption makes or breaks turmeric's power. So if you've been using turmeric and wondering why you don't feel the difference, it might not be about how much you're taking. It might be about what you're taking it with, and this is why our next section is critical. Let's begin with one of the most common and most overlooked foods in American kitchens. Processed dairy. We're talking about sliced cheese, powdered coffee creamers, sweetened yogurts, and those pre-shredded cheese bags that make life a little more convenient. They may taste great, they may feel comforting. But when it comes to turmeric, these foods can quietly shut down its benefits. Why? It starts with what's inside them. Processed dairy is often loaded with additives, stabilizers, artificial flavors, and in many cases, refined sugars. All of these can interfere with your digestion, especially for older adults who may already deal with acid reflux, slow metabolism, or lactose sensitivity. But here's where it gets more specific. Research shows that certain proteins in dairy can actually bind to curcumin, the key healing compound in turmeric. And when that happens, your body simply doesn't absorb it effectively. It's like pouring high-quality gasoline into a car with a clogged fuel line. The power is there, but it never reaches the engine. Let me give you an example. Linda, 65 from Georgia, was adding turmeric to her morning scrambled eggs, topped with a generous slice of processed American cheese. She thought she was doing something healthy, but in reality, that cheese was blocking the very benefits she was trying to gain. When she swapped it for a sprinkle of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a splash of olive oil, instead she started noticing real changes, less stiffness in her knees, more comfortable mornings. The lesson: even small daily choices, like which creamer you use or what kind of cheese you buy, can make or break your turmeric routine. But don't worry, you don't have to give up the creaminess or comfort. Try switching to unsweetened almond milk for your tea or coffee, plain Greek yogurt instead of sweetened ones, or even plant-based cheeses with minimal ingredients. These alternatives are gentler on digestion and don't block curcumin from doing its job. And remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's about giving turmeric the right conditions to thrive, so your body gets the healing it deserves. Now, if dairy was the only culprit, it would be simple. But there's another food group hiding in plain sight that causes even more trouble, especially if you have a sensitive stomach. Next on the list might surprise you because it includes items we often think of as light and healthy. Vinegar-based foods, salad dressings, pickles, ketchup, mustard. Even that splash of apple cider vinegar you may be adding to your detox routine. These acidic foods may seem harmless, some are even promoted as digestive aids, but when it comes to turmeric, they can become a silent obstacle. Let's break this down. The active compound in turmeric curcumin is a sensitive molecule. It needs a stable, neutral environment to survive digestion and make its way into your bloodstream. When you mix it with highly acidic ingredients like vinegar, its structure can begin to break down before your body has a chance to absorb it. In simple terms, you're taking something powerful and neutralizing it without even knowing. This is especially concerning for seniors who deal with acid reflux, gastritis, or sensitive digestion. The combination of turmeric and vinegar-rich foods can trigger bloating, discomfort, or heartburn, completely defeating the purpose of taking turmeric in the first place. Let me share an example. George, 70 from Ohio, started adding turmeric to his homemade salad dressings. He thought he was making a smart, healthy choice, but he was also using large amounts of balsamic vinegar, mustard, and a squeeze of lemon. And although he used turmeric consistently for months, he noticed no change in his joint pain. It wasn't until a dietitian pointed out the acidity conflict that he switched to a more balanced dressing, extra virgin olive oil, a small splash of lemon, a dash of black pepper, and turmeric. Within a few weeks, he reported feeling more flexible, less bloated, and even noticed improved digestion. The takeaway: it's not that vinegar is bad. It's about when and how you consume it, especially in relation to turmeric. Try these simple swaps. Instead of bottled vinaigrettes, make your own, using olive oil and just a touch of citrus. If you love pickles or mustard, enjoy them at a different meal from your turmeric intake. Give turmeric space at least a couple of hours, away from highly acidic foods. Small shifts like this create a more favorable environment for curcumin to work its magic. Now there's one more common trap we need to talk about, and it's perhaps the most dangerous of all. Not because it's acidic, but because it actively fights against turmeric's purpose in your body. Now let's talk about a group of foods that feel comforting, nostalgic, even joyful. But when paired with turmeric, they can silently work against everything turmeric is meant to do. We're talking about sugary cereals and baked goods. That morning muffin, the frosted flakes you grew up with, the banana bread from your favorite cafe. These foods may bring back warm memories, but let's look at what's really happening inside the body. Especially as we age, turmeric's #1 job is to fight inflammation. That's why it's so powerful for conditions like arthritis, joint pain, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. But sugar is inflammation's best friend. When you eat refined sugar, it spikes your blood. Glucose stimulates insulin, stresses your metabolism, and triggers inflammatory responses throughout your body. Your immune system gets confused, and instead of repairing it, reacts. Now here's the worst part. When you pair turmeric with high-sugar foods, your body is caught in a biochemical tug-of-war. Turmeric is trying to calm the fire, while sugar is throwing gasoline on it. Let's make it real. Sandra, 63 from Colorado, was baking turmeric muffins as part of her new wellness routine. She used white flour, brown sugar, and a dash of turmeric for health. But despite her efforts, she felt no change. In fact, her joint stiffness seemed to be getting worse. After working with a nutrition coach, she learned that the sugar and refined carbs in her recipes were not just canceling out turmeric, they were amplifying the very inflammation she was trying to reduce. She switched gears. Now she stirs turmeric into unsweetened oatmeal with cinnamon and almond butter, or blends it into a smoothie with blueberries and chia seeds. The result: less joint swelling, more energy, and a clear sense that her body was finally responding. Turmeric isn't a magic dust that fixes anything. It touches, it's a tool, and it needs the right environment to work. So here's what you can do. Swap sugary cereals for whole oats or grain-free granola. Bake at home with almond flour, mashed banana, or a drizzle of raw honey instead of sugar. Watch for hidden sugars in packaged turmeric health bars, or turmeric cookies. The label may say turmeric, but the sugar outweighs the benefits. And most importantly, if your goal is to reduce inflammation, protect your joints, and support brain health, then avoid combining turmeric with refined sugar in the same meal. Now that we've covered the 3 foods that can block or fight turmeric's power, let's shift to something far more hopeful. Before we move on, I'd love to hear from you. Has this part of the story made you reflect on your own habits, especially around sugar and inflammation? Maybe you've had moments like Sandra, where something that felt comforting was actually working against your health. How did that make you feel? Leave a comment below and share your experience. Your story might help someone else recognize the same pattern in their own life. Before we move into the foods that boost turmeric's power, we need to pause for something important, because if you're over 60, chances are you're taking at least 1 prescription medication. And while turmeric is natural, it's not always harmless. Turmeric and its active compound curcumin can interact with certain medications in a way that's often overlooked until it becomes a serious issue. Let's start with the facts. Turmeric acts as a blood thinner. It may help circulation, but if you're already on medications like warfarin, aspirin, clopidogrel, or other anticoagulants, turmeric could intensify the effect, leading to easy bruising, internal bleeding, or slow wound healing. It can also affect blood sugar levels. If you're taking insulin or diabetes medications like metformin or glipizide, turmeric may lower your blood sugar too much, causing dizziness, confusion, or fatigue. Even acid reflux medications and proton pump inhibitors may be affected, since turmeric can increase stomach acid in some people. Now, none of this means turmeric is bad. It simply means you need to treat it with the same level of care and awareness as your prescriptions. Let me share a story. Eleanor, 74, from Florida, was taking turmeric capsules daily after reading about its joint benefits. She also took a low-dose aspirin every evening as part of her heart health routine. Over time, she noticed more frequent nosebleeds, easy bruising, and slow healing of minor cuts. After visiting her doctor, they discovered that the combination of aspirin and turmeric was thinning her blood more than expected. The solution: they adjusted her dosage, spaced out the timing, and monitored her carefully. The lesson is simple but powerful. Natural doesn't always mean safe, especially when combined with medication. So if you take blood thinners, manage diabetes, use acid reducers or other chronic medications, talk to your doctor or pharmacist before starting turmeric regularly. Even if it's just a teaspoon in your tea, your health deserves that extra attention. It's not about avoiding turmeric. It's about using it wisely, intentionally, and in a way that works with your body, not against it. Now that we've cleared up the potential risks, it's time to shift gears, because turmeric's power can shine brightest when you pair it with the right companions. Now that we've explored the foods that hold turmeric back, let's focus on something far more exciting. What can make turmeric work better? And it starts with one of the most humble, overlooked spices in your kitchen: black pepper. Yes, this common seasoning does far more than add a little kick to your food. It holds the key to unlocking turmeric's full potential. Here's why. Black pepper contains a natural compound called piperine. When combined with curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric, piperine, can increase absorption by up to 2,000%. Not 20, not 202,000. That means your body can actually take in and use the curcumin you're consuming rather than letting it pass right through. Why is this so important for older adults? Because as we age, our digestive efficiency naturally declines. We don't just need more nutrients, we need to be able to absorb them effectively. Let me give you a real example. Frank, 69, from Oregon, had been taking turmeric supplements for a year. He liked the idea, but didn't feel much difference until a friend mentioned adding black pepper. He started sprinkling fresh cracked pepper into his turmeric tea each morning, and within a few weeks he noticed his knees weren't as stiff after long walks. His digestion improved, his energy felt steadier. It wasn't the turmeric alone, it was the combination that changed everything. Here's the takeaway. Turmeric isn't a solo performer. It's part of a team, and black pepper is its strongest teammate. Here's how to use it. Add a pinch of black pepper to your turmeric tea or golden milk. Sprinkle pepper and turmeric together on roasted vegetables or soups. If you take supplements, look for the word bioperine, a patented form of piperine often included to boost bioavailabilities. And one small note: always choose freshly ground black pepper when possible. It contains more active piperine than the pre-ground varieties that sit on shelves for months. Just one small adjustment. Just one pinch of pepper can dramatically shift how your body responds to turmeric. Now, what if we could boost turmeric even further? What if there were other natural ingredients that help deliver curcumin exactly where it needs to go? Well, there are. And the next one isn't a spice. It's a type of healthy fat your body loves. If black pepper is turmeric's absorption booster, then healthy fat is its transport vehicle. It's what helps turmeric get from your digestive tract to your bloodstream, and finally to where it's needed most, your joints, your brain, your heart. Why does this matter? Because curcumin is fat-soluble. That means it doesn't dissolve in water. It needs fat in order to be absorbed properly and circulated through your body. Without fat, much of the turmeric you consume could simply pass through unused. Think of it like trying to mail a letter without an envelope. The message is there, but it won't go anywhere without the proper carrier. Let's bring it into real life. Sharon, 66, from California, loved making turmeric tea each morning, but she often drank it on an empty stomach with just hot water and a little honey. When a wellness coach suggested adding a splash of almond milk or a teaspoon of coconut oil, she was skeptical. But within 2 weeks of making the change, she noticed something surprising: less bloating, clearer focus in the mornings, and a noticeable improvement in her hip stiffness. It wasn't about taking more turmeric. It was about taking it the right way. So what kinds of fats are best? Stick with natural, heart-healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocados, chia seeds or flax seeds, nut butters like almond or peanut, unsweetened, fatty fish such as wild-caught salmon. Here's how you can use them. Add a tablespoon of olive oil to soups, stews, or turmeric-based sauces. Blend half an avocado or a spoonful of almond butter into a turmeric smoothie. Drizzle olive oil and turmeric over roasted vegetables. Cook eggs with avocado oil and sprinkle turmeric and black pepper on top. But here's the caution: not all fats are helpful. Avoid trans fats, vegetable shortening, and heavily processed cooking oils. These can actually increase inflammation and cancel out turmeric's benefits. The lesson here is simple. Give turmeric the support it needs to travel through your body, and it will support you in return. And the best part? These healthy fats don't just help turmeric. They support your brain, your heart, your metabolism, and your energy levels too. It's a win on every level. Now there's one more surprising ingredient that pairs beautifully with turmeric. It's not a spice or a fat, but it has ancient roots in healing. And it adds not only flavor, but real anti-inflammatory power to your daily routine. And when we think about fighting inflammation, we don't always think about sweetness, but sometimes healing comes with a touch of nature's kindness. Enter raw honey, not the kind in the plastic bear bottle at the grocery store, not the ultra-filtered, heat-processed syrup that's more sugar than substance, but real cloudy, golden raw honey, rich with enzymes, antioxidants, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds. Let's talk about why this matters, especially for seniors. Raw honey doesn't just taste good, it helps soothe the gut, calm sore throats, balance the immune system, and reduce oxidative stress in the body. And when paired with turmeric, it becomes a gentle but powerful ally, enhancing curcumin's effects while also offering its own healing support. There's also something emotional here. Raw honey adds warmth, comfort, and a bit of sweetness to what can feel like a rigid health routine. Let me share a true story. Marjorie, 72, from Vermont, struggled with chronic sinus inflammation and morning stiffness. She started taking turmeric, but the taste was hard for her to tolerate, so she often skipped it. Then her granddaughter suggested mixing turmeric with a spoonful of raw honey in warm water. It was a small change, but it made all the difference. Suddenly, it became a ritual. Marjorie looked forward to each morning. Within weeks, her breathing improved, her joints felt more at ease, and, just as importantly, she felt hopeful. Here's how you can use raw honey. Wisely stir 1 to 2 teaspoons of turmeric. Plunge 1 teaspoon of raw honey into warm, not boiling water and sip slowly. Blend raw honey and turmeric into herbal tea for a calming evening tonic. Create a simple golden paste by mixing turmeric, black pepper, a healthy fat like coconut oil, and raw honey. Take a small spoonful daily. Add a touch of raw honey to your smoothie as a natural sweetener. But a word of caution: even natural sugar is still sugar. If you're diabetic or watching your blood glucose, limit raw honey to 1 teaspoon per day and monitor your body's response. The takeaway: Raw honey isn't just about flavor. It's about making healing easier, more enjoyable, and more consistent. Because when something feels good, we're more likely to stick with it. And that's what real health is built on: consistency. Small steps and daily choices that feel doable. Now that we've covered the foods that boost turmeric's power, you might be wondering, how do I actually put this all together? What should I do tomorrow morning, next week? What's a simple plan I can follow to start right now? Now that you understand what blocks turmeric and what helps it thrive, let's bring everything together in a simple, realistic plan you can actually follow starting today. Because knowledge is power. Yes, but applied knowledge, that's where real transformation happens. This 3-day turmeric optimization plan is designed specifically for seniors to help reduce inflammation, support digestion, and gently strengthen your body one step at a time. No pills, no powders, just whole food, thoughtful combinations, and daily intention. Day 1. Build the foundation. Gentle. Detox and morning clarity. Morning. Start with a warm turmeric tea. 1-2 TSP turmeric, plus pinch of black pepper, plus 1 TSP raw honey. Warm water, optional. Add a splash of unsweetened almond or oat milk for comfort. Lunch. Roasted vegetables like carrots, cauliflower, and sweet potatoes, drizzled with olive oil, turmeric, and black pepper. Evening. Light herbal tea with turmeric. Honey. Avoid processed dairy and vinegar-rich foods today. Let your digestive system settle. Begin supporting absorption pathways. Healing starts with slowing down and being deliberate. Day 2. Nourish deeper, pairing for absorption and comfort. Morning. Oatmeal with chia seeds, cinnamon, and a turmeric honey swirl. Add a few blueberries or slices of banana. Lunch. Simple salad with leafy greens, grilled chicken or salmon. Homemade dressing with olive oil, lemon juice, turmeric, and black pepper. Evening. Scrambled eggs cooked in avocado oil with turmeric and pepper. Avoid sugary baked goods or cereals today. Build consistency and support your metabolism. The right combinations make all the difference. It's not just what you eat, but how you pair it. Day 3. Activate longevity, strength, memory, and habit formation. Morning. Golden smoothie. 1-2 TSP turmeric, plus banana, plus almond butter, plus oat milk, plus black pepper. Blend until smooth and enjoy slowly. Lunch. Soup or stew with olive oil, turmeric, black pepper, and lentils or quinoa. Add a side of sautéed greens. Evening. Turmeric paste, turmeric plus honey, plus black pepper. Just 1-2 TSP on a spoon. Light stretch or walk afterward. Feel energized, reduce stiffness, and create a routine that feels good. When you feel good, you stay consistent, and that is what leads to lasting results. Now, you don't have to follow this plan perfectly. Health isn't about perfection. It's about progress and honoring your body day by day. You can repeat this plan weekly, or simply use it as a foundation to create your own turmeric-friendly routine. The key is mindful repetition, because small daily actions build a stronger, steadier you over time. So take a moment to ask yourself, what's one small turmeric habit I can start tomorrow? And stick with, your journey doesn't end here. Thank you so much for watching. If today's video made you think or inspired you to make even one small change in your daily routine, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. Which healthy habit are you pledging to try this week? Let us know below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more practical science-backed health insights every week. Your health journey matters, and we're here for it.